Riding on the roads of your community used to be a lot simpler. Now it's hard for horses and cars to avoid sharing the road for at least part of their journey.
Hi, my name is Phyllis Lambert, and with me I have Constable Herman of the Maple Ridge Detachment. We are here to promote all aspects of riding and driving safety.
First of all, we'd like to talk to motor vehicle operators about some of the rules of the road in this municipality. Here we have a common reaction from people who have no experience around animals. This kind of action puts horse and rider in a very dangerous situation.
Let's see this again, only this time taking safety into consideration. The vehicle is passing slow and wide, and no honking of the horn to upset the horse. Here is another example. If the young driver knew what could be the outcome of such a stunt, I'm sure he would think again. Here is a courteous driver. She is waiting until she can see if there's anything coming around the curve before she starts to pass the riders. If a vehicle were coming towards her, she may be forced to pass with very little safety margin. This thoughtful driver is waiting for the rider to cross the bridge before he proceeds onto the bridge himself. The driver realizes that the horse is nervous, and having to contend with a car will only cause more problems. The same rules of sharing the road also apply to motorcycles. In fact, noisy motorcycles will probably cause more alarm to a horse. Please think about this when operating a motorcycle around a horse and rider. And a bicycle can alarm a horse for just the opposite reason, the quietness. Don't pull up too close behind a horse. The horse could react strongly.
Please be cautious and use common sense around horse and riders. Be alert and expect the unexpected, and we can all enjoy sharing the roads.
And riders have an equal amount of responsibility. You have the right to share the road and must be prepared to obey all sections of the Motor Vehicle Act as if you were driving a car.
Riders must give way to pedestrians and obey all road traffic signs and signals. You should use hand signals to warn motorists of your intentions. Horses and riders should ride in single file as far to the right as possible. If there is no shoulder on the right and a large shoulder on the left, then common sense should tell you to ride on the left, where you can be completely off the road.
One thing you can do to ensure your safety is to dress to be seen.
The rider wearing the retroflective vest can be seen quite clearly, even though she is quite a distance from the camera. There is also retroflective tape and strips that can be attached to the arm or lower leg on the traffic side. The very least you should do is wear some white or brightly colored clothing. Avoid riding on the roads at night. Even retroflective clothing will not ensure that a motorist can see you. You should always wear a hard hat with a strong harness to keep it in place. You need boots that have a heel so that your feet cannot slip through the stirrup and get stuck there. You should have good equipment and keep it in good repair. As we said earlier, riders should be in a single file on a main road and keeping to the right side of the road. On roads with less traffic, you can safely ride two abreast, except where visibility is limited or where a car is near. Then single file should be resumed. You should decide beforehand who should fall in behind so that the move can be made swiftly. Also be careful when passing parked cars along the roadside. Make sure there is no traffic before you move out into the middle of the road to pass. When crossing the road in a group, wait until there is no traffic and stay together. Always stop and check for traffic before moving out. Your horse should get into the habit of standing still for a few minutes before changing direction. On a busy road, cross at the same time.
Hi, are you heading home?
Yeah, but I hate this hill. Cars seem to appear out of nowhere.
Well, crossing the road just below the crest of the hill isn't the safest place to cross.
It may take you a block or two out of your way, but it would be wiser to ride to the crest of the hill, where you can see the traffic coming in both directions. Or you can ride down the hill, so you have more time and visibility of the cars approaching. Particularly on wet and icy days, you need more time to cross the road.
As we mentioned earlier, bridges can be very hazardous. Caution must always be used.
Wait until you are sure there is no traffic coming in either direction before proceeding onto the bridge. Be patient with your horse. Horses don't like the hollow sound made by their feet on the bridge. If you see that you are going to have difficulties, dismount and lead your horse across the bridge, but decide before you try to make the crossing. It is not a good idea to try and dismount in the middle of the bridge.
Remember, horses are nervous animals. Know your horse so you'll know what may alarm him.
Dogs barking or horns honking are just a few of the things we take for granted, but can surprise a horse. If you are prepared for the unexpected, you can correct the situation by using stronger leg aids and talking calmly to your horse. Don't get into deep conversation with your companion or wear anything, earmuffs or a headset, that can impair your hearing. Never take your dog on the roads with you when you are riding. It is a danger to everyone concerned. Dogs cannot be safely on a leash while riding and are not under proper control when off the leash. You must act responsibly when riding on the roads, and riding with a dog is not a responsible way to share the road.
Here is something else you should never do on the road, for obvious reasons.
Besides risking your life and that of your horse, you could also injure your horse's legs by running on the pavement. There are lots of other places you can exercise your horse and have fun. The road isn't one of them.
You two are taking quite a chance riding bareback and double.
We've ridden like this lots of times and nothing's happened.
But if you don't have a proper saddle and bridle, you don't have control of your horse. You could have fallen off and your horse would have been loose on the road. It's not only yourself that you're responsible for, but your horse and others who share the road.
Hi. It's a good idea to take a nervous young horse out on a quiet back street first before attempting a busy one. For the next little while, ride your horse on a nice quiet street in a group.
We use this shielding method when introducing a young horse to road riding. Have a horse riding to your outside next to the traffic, and one in front. Have a more confident rider help you. A young horse should never be ridden by an inexperienced rider. He's nervous enough as it is.
We need to be careful and courteous when riding on the road. That way the traffic will respect you. Courtesy and common sense are important to using the road with safety and harmony.
And it's also important to have proper insurance coverage. Make sure that you have third-party horse liability insurance if you are going to do any road riding. Most policies give approximately $2 million coverage, and it's well worth the small premium. For more information, contact the Horse Council of BC.
And motorists should remember that in an accident with a horse, your insurance rates may increase, and the consequences to the rider and horse can be very serious.
Let's all be responsible riders and drivers together on the road.